Hey everyone, it's Joe the 50-something Dasher, and this is part 2 of my 5-part series on the drawbacks and challenges of running a YouTube channel. Stay tuned at the end of the video for a little bit about me and the disclaimers for this series. But in no particular order of topics, part 2 is the fact that this can be very time consuming. So that's another thing to keep in mind if you're going to be starting a channel. It's not just the fact that you have to come up with what you're going to do a video about, and then you have the time it takes, obviously, to record the video. And then you're probably going to have to do some kind of editing on the video. You're going to have to do something with it. I mean, I don't see too many videos on YouTube where there's no editing whatsoever. So, but most of the videos, something is done to it with an editor. You know, whether it's be even this video right here, where it's, for the most part, it's just me sitting in front of the camera filming, and I'm not doing too much to these videos in this series, but there is the one piece of editing involved. I'm adding the ending clip to each of the 5 videos. So that can be time consuming depending on how much work you're doing to the video. You may have, in addition to the ending, you may have other different effects added in, like whether that be graphics or pictures that you add into the video or things like that. Also trimming down the clips, like, you know, cutting out different parts or whatever. And just for an example, I don't have the problem so much currently right now, but it kind of comes and goes. Sometimes at certain points I have problems with coughing when I talk. So in earlier videos on this channel, I would edit out the coughing in my videos. That's another example there. That can be time consuming. Thumbnail photos, or I should say thumbnail images for your videos, that can be time consuming. Until you get the hang of it, then it gets a little bit easier. And for some people on YouTube, there's a lot of people that just post kind of like this. They figure out one format or one style that they want to use, and then from there, all of their thumbnails look pretty much the same. So you could, I'm somebody that I kind of like to play around with different images, graphics, different photos. I recycle a lot of things, but I'll incorporate some new things. I try to change it up a little bit. And depending on how detailed you want to get with that, that can be time consuming, especially in the beginning. But it's kind of something like where once you kind of get the hang of it and get used to it, it's not too bad. I use the tool that I use for creating thumbnail images. I use it's called Canva. And I use that for all my thumbnails, and it's just a yearly fee. I think it's like, I don't know what it was, 15 or 20 bucks or something like that, and I just pay that once a year and do all my thumbnails with it. Another thing with, as far as the time that this takes, and this, for me personally, this takes more time than these other things that I've already talked about. But the processing and all the different processing and uploading times. I use, for my editing, I use iMovie. And that can be like really slow. It's first I have to save the clip after I've edited that. So that takes time. And then, okay, now it's saved in iMovie. Okay, now I got to transfer it to my desktop on my iMac. Okay, that takes sometimes like over a half hour if it's a longer clip. That just seems to take forever. Then I have the uploading to YouTube, and that's another thing. And it's like a double whammy because you got the uploading of the video, and then after it's uploaded the video, then you have this processing time where I guess spiders go through the video or whatever and try to detect like copyright infringements, all these other things it's trying to detect. So you have that time included as well. And so that can tie up a lot of time. And my best advice on that is a lot of times I'll go to do other things, like and sometimes like I'll go in another room and like I'll be watching a show, watch TV or whatever, and then I'll periodically come back to this room and to see, you know, how far along that uploading or processing time is. You know, if you can, that's my best advice, is kind of like do something else while that's going on, because it can be kind of time consuming. But yeah, definitely the time that goes into it, you know, can be a challenge. Be prepared. Keep that in mind. If you have the time and you're okay with it, go for it. Start you up a channel. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching this installment of my 5-part series on the drawbacks and challenges of running a YouTube channel. I thought I'd focus on the kind of like the negative side of things with regards to running a channel, because there's so much already out there of the how-tos and the benefits of creating a channel. So I thought for my series that I do on this, running a YouTube channel in general, I just thought that I would prefer to focus on kind of like the drawbacks for my informational videos on this topic. A little bit of a background here on my channel here, and also a little bit of a disclaimer for this series. So my channel is the 50 something dasher. I am a gig worker, part-time. I, for the most part, DoorDash, but I also have a few other apps that I run, and I talk about basically gig work on my channel. Started the channel, it's been a little over a year ago, so August 1st, 23 is when I created the channel, and then the first video was posted September 1st of last year. And unfortunately, my channel has not been very successful. So I did not, in a year's time, I did not reach the level, the views, the number of subscribers, all that type of thing that I had hoped for. It's been a little bit of a disappointment, but I'm still hanging in there. So that basically is where the disclaimer comes in. You know, I'm providing this information, but it's coming from somebody who's running an unsuccessful channel, so to speak. So take all my information for what it's worth, and you know, with a grain of salt. And also keep in mind that it's just all of the information provided in this series is just my own personal opinion from my personal experience. So everybody's going to be different, but this is just, like I said, this is just my opinion, my experience, for whatever it's worth. And with that, I want to thank you again for watching, and as always, be safe out there driving. Catch you next time.